G'day everyone, welcome to the Outside Men podcast.
Hello.
We're here with Jed, Cal,
I'm back.
Matt.
Yes.
Jase is not here. We've
Thanks for
swapped
having me.
Jase and Cal out.
Budget restraints.
Yeah, rostering issues. So we're all back.
Yeah.
Big weekend of footy this weekend.
Yep.
How do we go, guys?
My team won.
Yeah,
What?
2 points. Actually, sorry, I haven't been here for 2 weeks, so can we go back to the last
6 points.
2 points, 2 points, 2 points. Thank you very much. And we're not going to do it again if we lose next week. But I just would like to say thank you for allowing me to have the last few weeks off. It is not a coincidence that since I've been gone, the Cows have started winning. It might surprise a few that I have been in camp with the Cows, and I'm not going to say that I'm the reason why we've started winning because I've been there, coaching them. But hey, do the maths and
It
So
lines up.
are you in their top 30 squad, are you?
No, I'm a coach. I've been
you're
up
a
there to
coach.
advise, and look, we're seeing results. And I'm not saying it's directly because of me, but
Hey, it could be. You never know.
Yeah.
It's nearly a full
Are we going
moon.
to start
Thank
calling
you.
you Sir Wayne?
thank you for releasing me. No, but thank you for releasing me, and thank you for having me back as well.
Yeah.
I've got a lot to talk about.
That's
so.
all right. Well,
Yep.
you're in for a treat tonight. So if it is your first time on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up, share, subscribe, bell notification, and if you're listening to us on Spotify, hit that follow button as well, and feel free to leave us a rating. So
Yep.
what we'll do is we'll get straight into Controversy Corner.
Yes.
I'm going to do a cut scene.
Just gonna do a cut there.
Okay, yep.
You weren't
Yeah.
there for that.
Yeah, you go first, though.
All right, so Controversy Corner. It's where we discuss things that pop up to us, controversies or borderline conspiracies even. So I
Just a
think,
bit of a soapbox too for us. hey?
So-
yeah,
Soapbox,
yeah.
So I think
I'm
Cal's
numbers.
got a conspiracy.
Oh, there's a bit of a brawl in the
controversy.
Knights-Tigers game. It is on in the background at the moment. It's Sunday afternoon, and there's been a bit of a get together.
A bit of argy-barge.
Yeah. They're talking about the coffee order.
So, yeah, my controversy corner. Look, who likes losing? No one likes losing.
Not really.
Yeah, no.
Find me an NRL fan or a person that likes losing. No one likes
Yeah.
losing. But there's a difference between losing and handling a loss. Accepting a loss and handling a loss, okay? Look, at the end of the day, I'm going to offend a certain group of fans here, but this is for everyone. When your team loses, get frustrated, get upset, that's fine. Look for things to blame, whatever. But at the end of the day, cop it on the chin and go, my team got done, right? Team got done. At the end of the day, the other team was better. What I saw last night on socials after the Cows and Bunnies game, I saw Bunnies fans just complaining about one in particular decision that the referees got technically and factually right.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the hip drop tackle that Whiten did on Scott Drinkwater. He saved a try, right?
Yep.
But it was a classic word-by-word definition of hip drop tackle.
Yeah.
And Bunnies fans were crowing on about, oh, this and that, that cost us the game. It was in the 57th minute and they were winning 10-6. They went on to lose 24-16.
Yeah, something like that.
So, first of all, Bunnies fans, accept the L, accept the loss, you got done. It's okay to be mad at referees' decisions. I've been there. But cop it on the chin and go, you weren't the better team. You got done. And to blame it on a decision that was factually correct, it was a blatant hip drop tackle.
Yes, it was.
He grabbed him, he swung around, he landed on the back of his legs. Blatant. So just accept the L.
Yep.
And I got into a few bit of a stash on the socials.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
great. It
you
was
got
great.
involved.
But
Don't read the comments section.
do you know how you've won a stash on Facebook? Is when they start insulting you. When they
Yes.
start insulting you and swearing, ha, I've won.
Yeah.
I've got this. See you later. And so
Yeah.
that's what started happening, and I just left it with them. I knew I had the victory. So basically, my controversy corner. I don't know if you guys agree or not. It's not so much a controversy. It's just accept the L. Get mad. I get frustrated when I hate losing, but don't blame it on one decision by the refs, especially when the refs got it right, boys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I totally agree with that.
Now, Jed, I believe you have a controversy as well, and
what?
you haven't told me what it is
Yeah,
yet.
we're a bit
so
nervous.
Yeah.
if this makes it into the episode, you know it was okay. If it doesn't, then I've cut it out.
Okay, so I was sort of thinking about this, watching the Newcastle game, and I know that the NRL have spoken about, adding more teams in and stuff like that. But I'm looking at the standard of rugby league, and it is absolutely appalling at some of the standards. And I just think that you could almost kick... You look at a team like the Titans, been in the competition for 20 odd years, except for maybe 1 or 2 years, have never really looked like, threatening to win the competition. So I'm saying that you could easily kick out teams, Titans, probably Newcastle, Tigers, and the standard of rugby league would improve.
You mean there'd be more players for Roosters to buy?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that, we go on about this thing, and it's just like...
Why would you get rid of teams, though? The NRL wants to grow the competition. They want more teams.
Yeah,
they don't
but
want to cut them back.
It's all about... But I just mean that the standard of rugby league, like there's a half...
What about the Dolphins? They haven't won anything.
Yeah,
kick them out already?
I honestly wasn't a fan of them coming into the competition because...
Warriors haven't won a premiership.
So here's a different take on what you say. Credit to you, Jed. That's a ballsy take. And you just come out and say, and I love it. It's controversial. But here's another take. Here's another perspective. Okay. So the NRL have teams in certain demographics areas of the country to promote the game.
Yes.
The Gold Coast without a football team, they do it largely to contest AFL, where AFL is trying to creep in. That's why they're trying to get the Perth Bears up and running. That's why they're going to PNG. That's why the Gold Coast Titans were brought in to contest with the AFL. So while to some extent I kind of agree that the standard is not there in some cases, like there's not enough talent, I actually kind of get that perspective, but I don't think the answer is... If you're going to take a team, if it really went down that path, which I don't think is the answer, but if you take out a Sydney team, wouldn't you, rather than the areas where they've developed into to try and contest with the AFL?
Yeah, well, there's too many Sydney teams, like without a doubt. Like you could almost, like a team like the Sharks, like they don't really have a great supporter base. Like I know we've got Jason, but like you don't see a lot of Sharks supporters.
Jeez, look.
On that
thinking, at Jed at outside medicine.
Well, on that thinking, we can get rid of the Roosters because they have no feeder teams and they just buy players.
Everyone's players. They have no.
They
juniors.
don't have any juniors. When you just get rid of them.
Actually, I read an article where 14 of our 17 players made their debut with the club. So
14. So you mean to tell me that 14 of the 17 Roosters that played last weekend made their debut with the Roosters?
Yes, absolutely.
Name them.
Oh, we'll go through that.
No, if there's 40, okay, name the ones who aren't, because there's only 3 of them.
Well, I'll have to go through.
No, that is an outrageous take. I could probably get James Tedesco did. Let's start with him.
Okay,
Who's Brandon Smith? Didn't he's not one? I know he didn't play last week.
Yeah, he didn't play.
He's in your roster. Chad Townsend. He didn't play, I suppose, on the weekend. Angus Crichton didn't.
Look,
that's an outrageous take.
It's controversy.
It is. I love it, Jed.
If the internet works in here,
Jed.
Can we get like someone to sponsor some good internet? I would actually.
Just got to move the router out.
Okay.
That is a huge take.
Okay, so Jed's thinking that we need to reduce the amount of clubs.
Yes.
In the competition, and poor old Titans have copped it again. Even though the Warriors haven't won a premiership, and they've been in the competition a lot longer than what we have.
I stand with you, Matt.
But at least they've been in grand finals.
2.
2002 and 2011.
Oh, well, in 2011.
Sorry, just on your 14, I can go 3 right away. James Tedesco, Dom Young, Connor Watson, Angus Crichton.
No, Connor Watson made his debut with us.
Did he?
Yes.
But okay.
And then he went to Newcastle.
So hang on. Debut, or did they come through the ranks at the Roosters? We're talking about juniors, not debut. Juniors.
No. Well, I was talking about debut.
No. Matt said pathways. Juniors.
Victor Radley, and I believe Lindsay Collins.
Two players. That is just outstanding.
No. Okay, you're changing the bar.
Comment what? No, we're talking about juniors. So the idea with the Roosters is that you buy all your players because you don't produce juniors. That's the whole argument, and that's what we're saying is like you don't produce your own juniors. But anyway,
Can I
comment
just-
what you think.
Can I just say quickly,
Yes. Yeah, that's one of our taglines.
Newcastle just dropped the ball again, and the Tigers just picked it up and scored a try. Adam Dewey in the corner.
And there's two guys in the bin.
Newcastle, yeah, Dane Gagai and Toa for Wests. They got into a kerfuffle, but anyway.
But good. I love it, Jed.
Yeah, good
That is what
controversy.
Controversy Corner's all about. Please comment what you
It
think
just
if you're
gets me
watching.
a bit riled up when everyone picks on the Titans. But no one said anything about Cronulla when they didn't win for 37 years or
50.
the Rabbitohs. I guess the Rabbitohs were the only ones that got cut out. Kicked
Sharks
out,
didn't win for 50, 55 years or something. Like
Yeah.
Jason will know.
Anyway.
But anyway, good stuff, Jed. Love that segment.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with this round's thoughts. And we're going to do a deep dive into the Dolphins Penrith.
Yeah, stats dive, yep.
Penrith in all sorts of trouble. But stick around, we'll be right back. Let's have a look at this Dolphins Penrith game.
Yeah.
Panthers have been 5 on the trot. They've lost.
They got their 5, Pete. Look, round 6, Thursday night, Dolphins 30-12 over the Panthers. And
I didn't see this coming. I tipped Penrith. I thought that surely this week will be the week. Dolphins have been sort of struggling a bit. They beat the Titans last week.
But that's no great, Pete.
It wasn't real good. They were lucky to win that game. Titans let them win that one.
But
we wanted to have a quick look at the stats.
Well,
this one.
We keep saying with the Panthers, bar Jed, and we got to give credit to Jed because Jed from the get-go said that the Panthers weren't going to do well this year. But we're all kind of sitting here waiting for the Panthers to turn it around. But I want to just do a quick stats deep dive into reasons why I don't think they will turn it around. I'm just kind of siding with Jed now. They're a great team. I still think they'll make the 8. I think they'll just claw in the 8. But it was 30-12. You'd say that's a flogging, right?
Yeah.
That's a flogging. Let's look at the stats. Possession was 54-46 to the Panthers. The Panthers had the ball for 30 minutes 25 seconds compared to the Dolphins 25 minutes, almost 26 minutes. They completed at 79% compared to the Dolphins 78%. They ran for 60 more runs. They ran for almost 350 plus more meters than the Dolphins. Yeah. They had 120 more post-contact meters. They had 20 tackle breaks, 5 less than the Dolphins, but still. The average set distance was 6:46 to 40 over the Dolphins. Their play the ball speed was 0.2 of a second faster. They had 12 offloads. They received the ball 530 times to 400. It is unbelievable that the team with that many stats favouring them lost by 18 points to the Dolphins.
Forced dropouts too. They had 4 forced dropouts.
You're talking about the 4-time premiers dishing up stats like that, and we all saw the game where they were just throwing passes that were just going panic passes.
Yeah, straight over the sideline.
And we mentioned this before, Matt, where we said they look like a team that do not know how to get out of the hole that they're in. What do you guys think?
Oh, definitely.
I agree. I think that it's not a Ivan's lost the dressing room sort of thing. It's not a politics thing. I think it purely comes down to them being under enormous amounts of pressure and not really having to have that. And even though they've been at the top of the competition, they've been at the top of the competition easily for the last 4 years. Last year was probably a bit the harder year, but up until last year, they'd easily been the best team in the competition since 2020, even though they lost that grand final. And they're under pressure now. They've lost a bit of that depth as well. Yeah. They've finally reached that point where they've just lost too many key positions, and they're just not able to get out of that situation.
I would say that it's probably the greatest fall that I've seen from a Premier's team.
I agree.
In recent history. Normally teams will, come back to the pack a little bit after they've won the comp.
You kind of expect it to go sort of a slight slope down. They've just gone cliff.
Well, if you look at Eels, after their grand final. They didn't win it, but then they had a shocker of a year the year after.
Well, we're talking about
The
four-time
Roosters won the
premiers.
premiership, and then they got the spoon the following year.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
No,
like
18, no, 18, 19, they won back to back, and then 20, you guys made it to the
No, this was like mid 2000s.
2000 and
So 2009.
2013 they won. No, 2013 you won the comp,
And then we got.
and then 15 you got the wooden spoon. The year
Yeah.
the Cows won the comp. So 2
Oh,
years
yeah,
later.
yeah.
So 2 years later. So, yeah, sorry, not the next year, but
And then I saw there that they basically have to win 13 of their next 17 games to reach the finals, and then come Origin time, they're going to have probably players like Cleary and.
But will they though?
Oh,
Yeah,
Cleary,
Like at the
yo.
moment, would you pick Cleary though? Like
Yeah,
he's been a
100%.
bit out of sorts.
I probably wouldn't pick him, but I'm just going on that thing that know they're going to have players playing Origin, so that's going to stretch their depth even more.
It's no one expected to see a team that has been so good under pressure in big games for so long now, for the last 5-6 years. No one expected them to be under this sort of pressure, for them to be crumbling like they have.
I think they're also, because they've been so good, they're also under the microscope. Every angle is commenting on them,
Yeah.
which just feeds this pressure.
Yeah, but I think there's more chat about them because of just how bad they've been, and the stats back that up. Like, they had so much of the ball, and they were still absolutely terrible the other night.
Yeah.
So you're still confident they'll make the 8?
Oh, I wouldn't say confident anymore. I think they'll get there because they still have
Scratch it in.
Nathan Cleary, Dylan Edwards, Isaiah.
As long as they stay fit.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, the Origin period,
Yeah.
if they do lose them for Origin, and they do, like, how
Yeah.
many years out of the last 3 or 4 has Cleary been injured during Origin?
Yeah. Yeah. Just quickly on that, as well though, I thought the Dolphins really turned up to play. Like
They did. Dolphins were great.
Yeah.
The Dolphins were really good.
Agreed.
Yeah. Good job, Dolphins.
All right, second game, Dragons v Titans on Friday night, 38-16 to the Dragons. Matt, what happened?
Terrible. Well, Tino didn't play, starters.
Yeah.
The team just weren't gelling. I don't know what it looked like Des had told them, the 2 wingers, to rush up on Gutho. And every time they didn't pass it to Gutho, and their wingers ran around our wingers, because our wingers had come in, they'd run around and scored a try. The biggest concern for me is that they didn't adapt.
No.
It happened 4 times, which it should only happen once, and then you adapt.
Yeah.
It happened again and again and again, and they come out from second half into the second half, and it happened again and again.
Yeah.
It's like, adapt your game plan. It's not working. They're not passing it to Gutho. You need to mix it up. Either shift across a bit more so that you can stay on your man, and if they do pass it to Gutho, then you've got the backup there to halt his progression. They just didn't learn, and they were terrible. They had a few errors. AJ put in a ton of effort. He had some really good runs. But the other guys, I don't know.
The thing about, we met in our group the other night, we were chatting about this, but the thing that, I'm a super coach player, so I've got Gutherson in my side, and all of the Dragons' attack in the first 5 rounds was get the ball to Gutho, and he sorts the plays out. And that's, the Titans went in with a clear game plan. If we shut Gutho down early, it'll limit their attack. The Dragons outthought that, and outthought what the Titans were thinking, and said, hey, they're going to target Gutho. So Gutho, you stay there, but we're not going to use you. We're going to face ball you. We're going to come in and around you, and that's what they did for the whole. So they outthought you. Were outthought by some really good coaching from Shane Flanagan, and
Master.
so you got to give him credit for that. But you're right, they didn't adapt. They should have at halftime at least gone, hey, this Gutho rushing up on Gutho thing's not working. The other thing that concerns me about the Titans is that their best footy is so far away from their worst footy.
Oh yeah,
And the
There's
great
no middle.
teams, their best footy is close to their worst footy. And as a Titans fan, it must be frustrating because you kind of like, you want that gap to be shutting each year, especially with Des, but to see you guys were on fire a couple of weeks ago, and now you're playing some really poor footy, so that must be frustrating.
Oh, it's very frustrating, especially when you look at the roster and you see all of these great names, and you're like, yeah, we've got this, you know.
Yeah.
And then they
You got the squad.
there's some, most of those guys, like, they're all decent players, but, you know, we've got some real good talent there, and it's just really frustrating when they just can't make things happen.
Jetty, upset of the round.
Yep, not even I tipped them.
Bronx and Roosters 26-16.
Yeah, I was.
Is this the ambush of the season, you reckon?
Ambush, yeah, no, we were just more hungrier than the Broncos, I thought. You know, like, from the step start, you know, like when the Broncos players are like almost like joking around in the dressing rooms before the game and stuff like that. And in this competition, you just can't do that. Young Hugo played outstanding. I don't think
His kicking game.
his kicking game was outstanding. Chad won't be playing first grade again.
Poor Chad. Chad Gate, I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Chad Gate.
Blame it all on Chad.
Yeah, and yeah, I was over the moon. Like, we just fought harder for it, even though. Yeah, like, what did you guys think?
Yeah, well done by the Roosters.
I think the Broncos were very complacent.
Yes.
So I think and this is what happens to teams with star-studded lineups. They turn up to games expecting to go, we rolled these guys by 50 or whatever it was in round one. We'll just play our game and we'll win. But what happens is when you start playing really good footy, the opposing teams bring their best. And if you don't show up to every game, you'll get ambushed like the Roosters did. And credit to the Roosters for the way that they ambushed the Bronx and didn't. It'll be a good wake-up call. I think the good thing for the Bronx is that Kevy didn't know how to fix this issue with the Bronx.
Yeah.
But Madge will know how to fix this culture of complacency.
Yeah. And then, not to get too much into politics as such, but what was your whole thought of Spencer, well, first with the tackle with the player on the ground, and then what happened after the game?
The tackle was fine.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't held, and he came in and jumped on him. There was nothing wrong with that.
I didn't think there was anything
The
wrong.
carry-on was not right. But, you know, there's obviously tension there between... And Staggs was giving it a bit too, you know, like he's not...
They're grubs as well, so...
I think it's all fair. It was a bit heated.
Yeah.
Controversy was Lanu going up after the game and
No, Thurston... Okay,
Thurston came up to Lanu.
Yeah, because what happened was that as Lanu was coming off the field for an interchange, he's given it to the crowd with a couple of words, and then he also directed it at Thurston.
Ah, that's what happened.
And then after the game, Thurston has come up to him, up to Lanu, and basically said, "What's going on?" So
that's not what I heard.
Oh, okay.
I heard that JT, because he was Channel 9, he was going to do player interviews.
Yeah.
And JT approached Spencer to do a player interview with him.
Yeah.
And Spencer said, "No, mate. I know. Basically, I remember what you said about me about what happened with Ezra Mam. Thurston came out and said he should have got 12 weeks. Just gave his opinion on something. And Monkey Gate, we're talking about. We called him Monkey. And Spencer was like, mate, I remember what you said about me. I'm not going to give you the light of day. And Thurston's just trying to do his job. Based on what we know, I was kind of a bit like, it's a bit of a storm in a teacup. Like, let them. It's the thing that I have a go at Spencer with is, mate, Thurston's paid to give his opinion. If you don't like it, then don't read. Yeah, don't read the papers. But also, don't sort it out on the field. What's he doing? And Thurston's getting paid to get interviews with players.
Yeah.
And if you don't like, and the carry on, Thurston probably should have just brushed it off and said, "Oh, see you later, mate. No worries, I'll just walk off." There's no need to go into the sheds and stuff.
Yeah, because I think Spencer was upset that that man only got 9 weeks or whatever it was, and then Thurston was pretty quiet about that. Like, he didn't say a lot.
But Thurston doesn't have to have a comment on every single thing that goes wrong. Like, maybe Thurston didn't get asked about it.
Yeah.
So Thurston was on the panel when they asked him about the Spencer Lanu calling Ezra Mam, but Thurston wasn't. Maybe he didn't get asked about it, or maybe he did say something about it, and maybe we're just choosing to forget it. Like, it's like, is he going to get upset? Is Spencer going to get upset when Thurston doesn't comment on someone else that's done something on the weekend?
Yeah.
I think it's just a young bloke who's had a fiery game.
He's a hothead.
He was fired up.
He played
all
well
game.
though.
And he's just that sort of player.
He's that player.
He plays with emotion and aggression, and
Got to, and that's the thing. That's what Trent Robinson wants. You got rid of JWH and you brought in Spencer Lane.
Yep.
That's
He's
what he's
just got to make sure he doesn't do high tackles so he doesn't get put in the bin. First game on the Saturday.
This was a bit of a bludger.
Sharks Manly.
24-18. Look,
Yeah.
I watched the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes of this, and I was just like, I was watching paint dry. That's what it felt
Yeah,
like.
I fell asleep.
It was. I know it was hot. It was 1:30 in the afternoon in WA, but still, both teams were kind of playing like they didn't really care about the result. Matt, you had a really good point about the game.
I did. I watched this game, and I thought even though it was a low-scoring game, probably when did they first score? Have you got the stats there?
Yeah.
It seemed like half-time or after half-time.
34th minute.
34 minutes. So for the first 34 minutes, it was a bit of a bludger. But then I noticed that there was very little, or what seemed to be very little, referee interference in that game. And it wasn't until the Sharks got a 6 again, a repeat set, that they then scored the try. And then it seemed like after that point, there was a bit more referee interference. And when I say referee interference, I mean like 6 agains, ruck infringements, stuff like that. So I thought it was a very even game. Both sides were defending well. Both sides' attack was, they didn't seem like they were doing it. Will Kennedy had a great game. Nico Hine has got to learn some different kicks other than a bomb. He was on the halfway, fifth tackle, and he's just put a bomb up. What are you doing, bro? Kick it. Braden Trindle, man, that guy's got some skill. He did like a 20-metre cutout pass. Did you see that?
I did see that.
Yeah.
20-metre cutout pass. It skimmed the guy, it looked like it just missed the guy's chest, the Sharks player's chest, and then went to their winger and they scored on the wing. I thought, that was such a great pass. So I thought he had a really great game.
Jason will be stoked that Will Kennedy showed his true form. Jason thinks that Will Kennedy's the greatest fullback in the NRL, and I think he showed that on the weekend. So I know Jase, you'll probably watch this later. I know you'll agree with me when I say that Will Kennedy, he's proving why he is the best fullback at the Sharks, and so he played really well. I will say about the Sharkies, when they started out this year, I thought they're not living up to what I thought they were going to be like, but then they went over to Vegas and only just lost to the Panthers, and I kind of was like, it's only a small loss. But we're now seeing how bad the Panthers really are.
Yeah.
And the Sharks have won 3 games, but I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced by them. Hey.
Yeah.
Nah, they're not quite up to where they were. Not same as last year.
No.
Yeah. Just quickly, what was your thoughts on the Will Kennedy no try and something that happened 60 metres up the field with that obstruction? I didn't think it was an obstruction. Oh, it's hard to know. Did you see it?
Where he ran around the player, and the player didn't really touch anyone, but it was more of a shepherd than an obstruction.
Yeah.
I think it was an old school shepherd.
Yeah, it was.
So he didn't make contact with anyone, but it's an interesting one because shepherd's technically not a rule anymore. It's called obstruction.
Yeah.
But you ask any old rugby league head, they'll go, well, it's the old school shepherd.
Yeah, I still call it a shepherd.
So, I don't know. It was, and I know what you're saying, 60 metres down the field, but if you're a Manly fan, you'll be going, well, they shouldn't have made it 60 metres down the field. Because
Was it just backtracking? Was it the Broncos game where they called up that head high tackle 4 sets later, or four tackles later?
It was the next set.
Put the guy in the bin, but they didn't change possession because it had gone too far. Same thing with this.
That happened to the Cows last week too.
What's the go? If the game's already moved on and they've missed it, too bad.
No, well, they've come out, this whole crackdown, they've said that, hey, if there's... So it happened in the Cows game, Penrith put a high shot in Talangi. Well, it was changeover. Penrith started their set. Ref pulled it up on their second tackle. Sent one of the Panthers players to the bin. Didn't give us a penalty. Said Penrith play on. I'm like, but you've just sent one of their guys to the bin for
So what is the limit? What is the limit?
There's no limit.
If a head high happens in the first minute of the game, and they don't realise until the 78th minute of the game, and that one team will benefit from losing a player,
it won't.
And they
happen.
go, oh yeah, look, back in the first 5 minutes.
No, it won't happen like that. So what's happening is while the game's playing, the bunker's shifting through all the footage. And so sometimes it takes half a minute to a minute to find the footage. You go, oh yeah, that is a head high. Hey mate, call it back. It's not going to be 10 minutes later. It's not even going to be 5 minutes later. It'll be probably within the next set.
If he gets clipped in the head and the guy jumps straight up and plays the ball,
I agree.
Play on.
I agree.
You know,
100% agree.
Come on.
And then should the play go back to where it was 2 minutes ago and they should have the penalty or...
I just think this rubbish. A call gets made and the ref's standing there and the game's just stopped because the ref's just standing there waiting for the bunker to say something.
If that's the case, then yes, they should go back and they should get those minutes back.
Yeah.
The game needs to.
Well, the game will take so long then.
Well, they wanted to speed it up and now they're making it slow again anyway. Just revert it back to what it was 15 years ago when it was a bit slower anyway.
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
And bring back the scrums, I say.
Yeah, and the game was better. Roosters were winning competitions and...
Yeah, right.
East for the win.
East to lose. Now the next game in Perth as well. Cowboys 24 over the Rabbits 16. Good to get another win under the belt. We started off with 3 losses and we've gone with 3 wins.
Yep.
It's typical Cowboys. Apologies if you start to hear a little bit of noise. We've got a bit of a light shower passing over at the moment.
Quick, Jed, have a look at the radar.
But it's good. It was good to get the win. And the Cows were really, to start the game, pretty poor. Their first 30 was pretty poor.
Yeah.
But I'm really proud of our defence at the moment. So we were conceding 40 to 50 missed tackles a game for a while there.
Yep.
We're only doing about 10 to 20 at the moment. I'll just check this game. But our defence has improved significantly. Missed tackle 17. So
that's really good.
Yeah, that's from where we've come from.
Good.
So we've definitely turned a corner. We're still we're letting at one stage our completion rate was 55%. So. Yeah. We're still yet to put together a perfect game.
Yeah.
No. What do you guys think? Did you watch the game?
I watched a little bit of it, and but it was hard to get excited for.
Because you're not a Cowboys fan, and you hate the Rabbits.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I thought it was good. I thought Reardon had some really good plays
defensively.
Yeah. Drinkwater seemed to be the Johnny on the spot.
He's always there.
Yeah, yeah. Pretty good.
I'm not convinced Latrell is a 5'8" at this stage. Like,
well, he's not meant to be there. He's only filling them.
Oh yeah, I know, but like
the other thing that I'll note too is the ladder. We got a bye next week, so we've got 3 wins into a bye. So that's really handy for us. And that was a 2-week road trip. So the boys left Townsville. Haven't been back for 2 weeks. So,
Anyway.
All right, we might just pause it there for a minute and just see what this rain's going to do because it's a bit noisy. Oh, no.
It's going to make
all right, we'll take a quick break and we'll be back for the rest of this round. Righto, the rain has stopped, so we're on to the next game.
So the Eels... Oh, the Eels.
Eels Raiders.
50 to 12, the Raiders. Is there another team that you can remember that got dusted by 50 twice in the first 6 weeks?
I think the Tigers when they got done.
I don't even think
remember when they got like 74-0?
That was the Cowboys beating them 74-0.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was 2 games in the first 6 weeks.
Yeah, no.
Like, that's
it's pretty rough. Eels didn't really have anything off. Raiders were really good.
Why do the Eels keep going to Darwin?
It's our last time. It's our last time.
They keep getting flogged up there.
And the rain's back.
The rain.
Can't help the rain. Sorry about that.
Can't help the rain.
Yeah, look, Eels probably in line with the...
Oh, you stupid weather.
All right, it's off. Let's go quick.
Off. Yes, let's go.
Right. Eels Raiders again.
Yep. So the Eels Raiders. What was it? 50 to 6 or
50 to 12.
50 to 12.
Give the Eels something.
Something.
Jeez, how would you be being an Eels fan? Look, we feel for you. It's twice in the space of 6 weeks you've been dusted by 50. Just book your flights to Bali already. Leave in round 10 if you want. No one's going to blink twice about it. Just give everyone the bye. But look, Raiders...
They scored some good tries.
They did. It's hard to know if the Raiders were really good or whether the Eels were really poor. I think it's a mixture of both, honestly.
Yep, Raiders grand finalist.
But honestly, there's not too much more to say. Thankfully for the Eels, this should be their last game in Darwin because they keep getting pumped.
Yeah, they keep
Last game.
pumped.
Okay, so
Alright.
what was the next game after that one?
Sorry, yep, we're having, yep. Let's go to the Storm and Warriors today.
That was this afternoon's game.
Well, look,
I was really excited for this game. I thought it was going to be a really good game. And then after 15 minutes, it was finished.
what made you think it was going to be a really good game?
Well, the Warriors do fire up against the Storm.
They haven't beaten them in like 20 games.
They have had some close games though.
Yes, they've had some close
that
games.
last year's game was decided by that
That's what Johnson
Xavier
came out
Coates try in the corner.
Nah, yeah, but they haven't beaten them in like 20 games or something.
Yeah, 16 games.
16.
But
Yeah.
I tipped the Storm. I thought they were too good for the Warriors, and I was right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Caps was
Melbourne-
really good.
Melbourne were up 36-0 at one stage.
Yeah, half time.
Even after 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, oh, this is gonna be blah. But
Cricket
Melbourne
score.
are doing this thing at the moment where they literally shut down.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you can do that in the NRL, full credit to you. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last game.
Just finished for us here at time of recording. West Tigers have defeated the Knights 20-4. The big news was the Knights finally got on the board in the last minute.
last 45 seconds.
They didn't score last game. They weren't going to score this game. It's a fluky try, but the Knights are up the creek without a paddle.
Yeah, they're gone. They're done. Their season's done. Sorry, Tyson, but they're cooked.
Yeah. Honestly, Adam O'Brien, he is not a first grade coach.
They've made the finals 3 of the last 4 years.
Yeah, but I just look. Just because you're a qualified Sparky, does that make you good at your job?
Oh yeah. That's valid, yes, that's valid. But like Trent Robinson hasn't been to.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
That's a good one. Yeah, look.
Well played, Jed.
Yeah, Newcastle still higher on the ladder than the Titans by 1.
All right, let's move to the ladder. Let's have a quick look at the ladder. So the Doggies are on top with 5 wins, 0 losses, and a bye up their sleeve. So they're 2 points ahead of the Storm. Then you got Bronx, Raiders, Rabbits, Warriors, Seagulls, Sharks. Honestly, this is a close competition this year.
Yeah.
The Panthers are second last, but are still $14 to win the competition. They're still 4th favourite to win the competition.
Yeah.
At second last.
They're not coming back. They're not winning the comp this year.
Melbourne is at the shortest favourites that I've seen in a long time, $2.63 to win. And honestly, they look so far ahead, even
They're really
underdogs
sharp.
undefeated. So
Do you guys know anybody that's tipped like 8 out of 8 this year?
Yes, my boss actually tipped 8 out of 8
I-
3 weeks ago, I think.
it might be controversial to say. I would say people who don't follow rugby league die hard are probably tipping better.
Yeah.
Because anyone that follows rugby league die hard would be getting more tips
That's
wrong.
me. I follow rugby league die hard, but I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
Well, it's similar to me, right? I'm in this AFL tipping competition through the gym,
Yeah.
and I'm coming first.
Jed!
Yeah.
I have
Because you're not invested in the
I have
game.
absolutely no idea about the game.
Well, I started flicking a coin,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to do that.
and I don't know how I went this week. I'll check
I got
later.
3 out of 8 this week.
So
Mine was terrible.
you got 3 out of 8. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm just going to quickly check.
Just
my
quickly.
Yeah, we're just going to talk. Are you a steak or a pork guy?
Pork.
Yeah, pork.
Oh, actually, we had a barbecue last week, and my wife had bought these marinated pork chops, I guess. Oh, they were pretty big, like the big ones were. Oh man, I did them on the barbecue. So
Yeah.
good. We're going to have to do a cooking episode. If you'd like to see a cooking episode on the outside menu.
Matt's cooking adventures.
Yeah. Outside on the patio
Yeah.
podcast.
Yep. Or,
Outside men on the patio.
what was that midday show that they used to have?
Huey.
Yeah.
Huey's Cooking
Huey's or-
Adventures.
Yeah.
Oh,
I could do
that was
I could
good.
do that.
Or
I got 4 out of 8 with flipping
Who'd you
the coin.
tip? Dolphins. Yeah, I did.
Well, the coin did
I
it,
hit
but
Penrith.
I tipped Broncos too.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Look, yeah, this year is like you're tipping. I think some of the games I was like sort of tipping on last year's sort of performance as
Yeah,
well because
fair
it's
enough.
early in the season. But you can't do that.
Should we
Anyway,
go
we'll take a quick break,
Yep.
reset the cameras, and we'll be back for this round. No updates.
Blame it on the rain.
Here comes the rain again.
I bless the rain.
How many songs?
seen the rain.
Yeah, who hasn't? Probably.
It's a stupid song.
in Africa. Do you remember that song? Toto?
That's what I was just singing.
Yeah. Oh, is that what you were singing?
I'm not Toto, but do my best impression. I'm not gonna do
Should I leave this in the edit?
it. Three
Yeah, how many songs?
blokes trying to sing. We might start a boy band.
Imagine if that
Yeah.
went viral and we blew
Ooh.
up from that, just instead of rugby league.
Anyway,
Anyway.
Backstreet Men.
Sexy, and I
Backstreet
know
Streets.
back, alright.
Alright.
Well, if Jase was here, we could be a boy band.
Oh, we could.
Oh, we could.
Yeah, I'll play drums. You can play guitar.
Were
You
you
can play
guys like
bass.
a-
You can sing. Jimmy. Fun.
Oh.
No, but were you guys like an NYC band kind of guy or Backstreet?
In sync.
NSYNC. That's
Yeah.
it. That's what it's called.
My brother, do you remember
I loved
Five?
them. Five.
My-
They were awesome.
Oh, my brother loved Five. He had that. He denies it now, but he had the
Yeah.
album and everything.
No, I love Five. I'm not even ashamed of it. And sing. Ba ba ba.
I remember Backstreet Boys when they did Backstreet's Back. I didn't even
Yeah.
realise they'd gone.
Did they go?
No,
No, they're back.
Well,
they're still performing.
You're talking about the song.
no, the song. Remember
Backstreet's
Backstreet's Back?
Yeah.
Oh right.
I thought that
I
that
didn't
was
even
just
know
a
they
song.
were a thing until that song came out.
Oh,
So
okay.
I didn't realise that they'd gone and come back.
Okay, yep.
So is that why they're called Backstreet Boys instead of like Front Street Boys? Or
I don't know.
uh,
Maybe we need to discuss this.
are they called Backstreet Men now because they're all grown up with kids and probably grandkids?
Oh, I don't know.
And
Blame
just like
it
that-
on the flipping rain. The whole time it wasn't raining, we've been. All we just want to do tips.
All right, this week's round, first game on the Thursday is Manly versus Dragons.
Thursday night.
4 Pines Park.
Ooh. Each Seagulls are favourites, $1.60 to $2.31.
Yeah, I think Manly will do the Dragons.
Manly were poor. I'm going to go Dragons.
I'm going to go Dragons too.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
up
going
the
to go
mighty
Dragons
Saints.
too. All right, Dragons for the win.
Dragons.
First game,
Jason's going to go draw.
Good Friday game.
Oh, it's Good Friday.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we got a 4
Um,
o'clock game.
The Doggies running hot in first against the Rabbits in fifth.
Doggies fresh off the bye.
Fresh off the bye, you've got to go the Dogs, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, Dogs.
Rabbitohs with that red-eye flight back from
So, I know that-
Perth.
yeah,
Short
that-
turnaround.
Yeah, they've sold 70,000 tickets for this game. they're
Wow.
saying,
So good. Yeah, I think Dogs will do them.
And then Friday night, we've got the Dolphins v Storm at Suncorp. Storm heavy favourites.
Just like the rain.
I'm going to go Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Melbourne!
Mel-
But don't be surprised if Dolphins turn up.
Yeah, it could be that game.
Do you know what bugs me about that? You can't sit on the fence. You can't say, I'm tipping Melbourne, but I think the other team could win too. Of course the other team could win too. Who are you tipping?
No, all I said is that they're going to run out.
Okay,
All
I'll
right.
take that.
Saturday.
Warriors versus Broncos in Go Media Stadium in Auckland at 5:30.
This game could actually go either way. Although the fish is out, looks like he's done knee or something, or hammy maybe.
I
Was it?
thought it was pec. Yeah,
Pectoral muscles. So
I got the Bronx.
that's like 12 weeks.
Yeah, it's a while. The
So, Fish is
Warriors
out.
were not great today, and the Broncos. I know they
Chan's
weren't great.
got had a really big hit.
Yeah, I think he's
late in the
gone.
game. So
that?
Chance. I think it's cat one. Maybe.
yeah, so he's out. He'll probably get stood down for the 11 days.
I'll go Bronx.
Yeah.
I'm going to Warriors.
No, you-
Like, they turn an extra beat at home.
Okay. Fair call.
Yeah, that's a hard one. I'm probably going to sit with Broncos for now.
Okay.
Alrighty, we got
sure?
the.
Yeah. Can
Have the Roosters played the Panthers in a grand final recently? When was that?
Not since 2003.
Wow. We've got the Roosters versus the Panthers, 15 versus 16.
Hey.
Wow. Yeah, it's at Allianz Stadium. I'm going to have to. I don't know who to tip.
Panthers.
Did you not see how well we played on Friday night?
Yeah,
but
but
Panthers need a win. Panthers will
I've
win.
also seen how bad you've played
Hey.
this season.
Yeah, but that was with Chad.
Don't bring Chad into this.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
I don't know who to tip. I'm going to have to go Penrith because I'll feel like an idiot not tipping Penrith.
They're due
if
for
they
a win.
Yeah.
They're due
No,
for a win.
No, up the mighty Chooks.
Alright, Matt?
Hey,
Alright, it doesn't matter at
who
this
are you-
point. Chooks.
yes, remember, who's been more loyal to you? Me or
Are
Carl?
you threatening him? You're pointing at him.
Oh, don't make me choose.
You don't have to side with me. I'm tipping
Nah,
Penrith.
probably, maybe Penrith Roosters.
Yeah.
That's who's going to win.
Okay.
It might be a draw.
It might be a draw.
They're bad
I'm
as you.
sensing you want to say Penrith, but you don't want to let Jed down.
Look, I have tipped Penrith every week
So
for the
everyone.
last 5 weeks. So I'm like, they're going to win. They're going to win. They
We get
have to
one of
win.
them.
They're going to beat these guys. They're too good to lose 5 in a row. Roosters
You going Roosters?
for now,
Wow.
Good choice.
Jason's gone draw.
but I might change. I might change.
Titans v Raiders on Sunday afternoon, Easter Sunday. Matt, it's at Seabus.
Do I have to pick?
That means nothing for the Titans.
Nah. Look at the betting. They're pretty much
It's
exactly
equal,
the
just
same.
I'm gonna go the Titans for a bounce back.
Yeah, me too. I think.
I think they're due.
If it's going to be raining on Sunday, Titans.
Yeah.
Titans play
Yeah.
well in the rain.
All right, moving to Sunday, we got the Knights versus the Sharks.
I'm actually surprised that Knights are only at $2.60 after
what
the
we've
last
just seen.
2 weeks.
2
even.
weeks.
I mean, who's going to watch that game?
It's going
I'll
to be a
probably watch
bludger.
it.
Well, there is the greatest fullback in the game playing, Will Kennedy.
Oh, yeah.
But this is back to my point. We have these games that, not enough.
Relax, Jed, but yeah, go.
Not enough talent in the game, and we get games like this.
There is plenty of
Jason's
talent
going to
in
be
the
adding
NRL.
at you after this game.
And it's the same. Like we got the West Tigers and Eels. Like, who
I'm going to
cares?
tip the Sharks just because the Knights have been
Yeah,
so.
Sharks for the win.
There you go.
I'll tip Sharks.
Okay, Jason's tipping the Knights. And Easter Monday, West Tigers versus the Eels.
I think this will actually be a good show.
This was Spoon Bowl last year.
Yeah, this will be a good show. Tigers starting to get in some good form. Eels have been up and down and up and down. I think they'll put on a show. I think they'll stand up. It's at CommBank Stadium, so technically Eels home ground, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's the Tigers' home game. That's
Yeah,
I
what
thought
it
they
is.
used to play this always at ANZ Stadium. Or whatever.
I'll go Tigers,
Yeah, I'll go Eels.
and the Cowboys have the bye.
Cows will be okay with that
We
one.
should just do that.
What are you going to do with your week off?
Not stress about watching the footy because.
No, like, I thought you were up there coaching and stuff.
No, well,
like-
I've done my
you've-
work.
yeah,
They're
you've
three
done
on the
your
trike.
work.
I've left them, and I said, boys, you know what to do.
leaving when you're at the top.
Exactly, and
That's
if
it.
you know what,
Out.
if we end up
Done.
3 in a row losses again, then they'll send me back
Go
up
back
there.
up.
So,
okay.
Uncle Todd's
It's
got my
good
number.
it's good that you're flexible like that.
Yeah, well, I'll do anything for my team.
I thought you were going to say for money. I'll do anything for money.
Oh, well, of course. Yeah.
I got plenty of money if someone needs it.
Oh, do ya? Your shout for tea then.
Sponsored by Jed.
You'll get a house actually.
Oh, okay. There you go. Well, that's it.
That's it.
You got any more? Just quickly.
No, I've got nothing.
No more stories.
That should be a segment. The
Just quickly.
segment. Just quickly.
Yeah. If you would like, please leave suggestions in the comments.
Yeah.
We do this for fun,
Yeah,
obviously,
absolutely. We don't
but
get
we
paid.
also
I get paid.
we're also doing this for your enjoyment. So if you see something that you like or you don't like or you want to point out, leave us a comment. While you're there, hit like, share, subscribe on the YouTube and the follow on Spotify.
Yep.
And if you'd like to see Jed do it just quickly, one more thing just quickly segment, hit us up in the comments. I think that will be fire.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got 61 subscribers, so people must like
One of us.
or some of us. Like there must be, you must be enjoying it if we're getting 61. Some people go, that's nothing. But it's like that's 61 people plus all the other views that we get. So
Yeah.
thank you for watching and putting
Yeah,
up with
everyone.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah. Just quickly.
I'll come to dinner with you.
Oh.
I don't know if people want that.
Maybe someone does.
Maybe someone does.
Yeah.
Hey, don't turn this into a what's the date?
Hey, look, if Jed gets a partner out of this channel, then it's
Tinder.
me.
Don't turn this into a Tinder.
Yes. Call me.
Just quickly.
Oh jeez.
All right, let's get out of here. I got to edit this video. There's a lot to cut out tonight. So have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Enjoy your footy festivities.
Have a good life.